How's Jimmy feel about all this?
We good. Pass the ball to Steph and get out the way.
There you go.
Is Jimmy Butler $30 million a year better than Andrew Wiggins? I don't think so.
I need to know Bonte Hill's mindset last Saturday night.
It was insane.
When you got the notification that everyone thought was fake, Shams, you must have been hacked, right? You can't be real. No, he had a follow-up tweet. No, this is real. Even when he said this is real, it sounded fake. What was Bonte Hill thinking? What was Bonte Hill thinking?
Are you Amy G? What was going through your mind, Pablo, when you hit that?
He wants to start with the Lakers with me in here. He's trolling me.
Luka Doncic to La La Land.
He's trolling.
And Anthony Davis to Dallas.
Well, I was driving from San Jose with the family. We had a little birthday party down to San Jose. So we're driving up. And I'm seeing all these
grab the
text
steering
messages.
wheel. I have to go live now on Instagram.
Well, let me tell you. It definitely didn't go live. Definitely didn't go live. But you know what? I see all these text messages. I'm like, what the hell is going on? So I finally open one, and they're like, you like it? I'm like, what? So I just do the voice. The text was like what? And they're like, and they sent me the Shams tweet. That was like, you need to check your Twitter. I'm like, what?
Are you on 101 or 280?
280.
So did you pull over?
No, I did not pull.
St. Francis Assisi?
No. I did.
There's like a statue where it points at you.
I did what Bonte Hill always does. Take the phone, drive, take the phone.
With the family in the car.
And then can you just put the phone down and say, dude,
my wife all the time.
Luka Doncic just got traded, all right? These takes need to get off here. And I start arguing with Spinoni.
So were you live tweeting with one hand?
I think maybe I said two. I was texting you guys mostly.
You were.
I was at a crab feed. My nephew turns to me, Kieran. He goes, just ever so quietly. Luka Doncic got traded to the Lakers. I go, what? I go, that's not real. He shows me a screenshot. I looked at him. I go, that's not real. Well, and then I looked at my phone and I go, oh my God, it's real. And then immediately Shams tweets out, this is real. I was not hacked or whatever the heck he said. And my head just exploded.
Yeah, at first I tried to poo-poo the trade, and then it took me like 36 hours to be like, I said, yeah.
The winner in this deal is, the guy who got the fourth best player.
Yeah, well, the Lakers are going to be a problem, and I think they have action in the Western Conference with the way LeBron looks and with the moves. Now, trading away don't connect. I was a little surprised there, but Mark Williams is a hell of a big. He's going to roll to the rim. His last 10 games, he's averaging 22 and 10. Mark Williams is good. His wingspan is awesome. Yeah. So, but nobody watched the Charlotte Hornets, so we wouldn't know about him. No. But they just traded Nick Richards and Mark Williams, two solid big men. And I'm like, man, Warriors could have used one of those guys. Well, it would have been nice.
We have to play all 6'6" guys to close. or smaller.
That's another issue.
And then none of us are going to get back on defense while we're at it.
But it's the Lakers. They pull these moves off, and they had to pull this move because, let's be real, the last 13 years for the L.A. Lakers has been mediocre. They've missed the playoffs 7 times. They've been bounced in the first round 3 times. They have the bubble ring. All right, now I get it. They make shrewd moves, and they make these moves for Anthony Davis and LeBron James, but they've been mid. For the Laker brand, because the Lakers are the Yankees. Yeah. They're the Red Sox, and that's what the Warriors
have a more recent ring than the Yankees.
Well, they do, even though it's a Mickey Mouse ring. It's not, whatever.
Don't tell that to Jimmy Butler, who participated in it.
Well,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm going to tell him, hey, Jimmy, man,
exactly.
how's the Orlando bubble?
Of his career.
High moments of his career. Actually, the high moment came a couple years ago when he really balled out. So, look into the Lakers. They're going to be a problem. Luka controls the game. LeBron controls the game. They're going to get any matchup they want. They're going to hunt the weaknesses. They're defensively, they're solid. The Lakers got action in the West.
All right, before we get to the Butler trade and the whole KD saga, watching last night, because we're on the Lakers. Okay, a couple things. My God, refs, get it right. It was clearly an 8-second violation, and everyone lost their minds. You got to play through the whistle. That's like that. You can't stop and complain. But I thought something happened in the middle of that game with Draymond and LeBron, and I've been waiting for this to happen forever. Finally, Draymond fouled him hard. Finally, he's starting to see LeBron's not your friend, Draymond. Like, he's been using this friendship. I'm not joking. He's been using this friendship, this clutch thing, to, like, psychologically gain an advantage on Draymond in these games. Draymond finally went over the edge, and then to see LeBron mock him openly the way that he did, I was like, good. We now know what it is. Get the war paint on the faces. Let's go. Every time we see LeBron from here on out, I am demanding.
Well, it should have been like that since the Cleveland days.
But it hasn't.
It never waited for me. Like, I never wanted LeBron on this team.
But
Draymond, no, it hasn't. But you know what?
I was so happy he finally fouled him hard.
I'm happy too. But now, you know what I'm not happy about? The Warriors are 0 for 8 in California.
Yeah.
They're 0 for 8 against the Clippers, Lakers, and the Sacramento Kings.
They're 1-10 in the Pacific
Division.
I couldn't believe that.
So, the California Classic, the Warriors are losing that right now. So I don't care about the antics right now, about Draymond and LeBron, all that other ancillary stuff, the side stuff. Can I win a basketball game? Can I get some more balance on offense? Can I get some spacing?
No.
Can I get some room for Steph Curry to operate? What the hell with the Draymond stuff? Draymond and LeBron, and this is what LeBron does.
I've never seen him mock him like that.
Oh, yes, because he's feeling it. You know why? Because he knows I've got Luka Doncic.
Yep.
I've got a dude. Yep. And here's the thing that nobody's talked about with Luka.
Like,
this
awesome.
one thing that, he's out of shape, right?
We've been talking about how fat he is. He's actually awesome.
Well, he dropped a 45-point triple-double at Chase Center earlier this season, and the Mavericks coaching staff who I talked to, they were like, he's not even in shape yet. He's not in shape yet. So he's going to get in shape with the LA Lakers. And one thing that people underestimate is that he dragged some lousy Maverick teams to the Western Conference Finals. He dragged that team to the finals last season, and now he gets to work with LeBron James in a playoff setting when the game slows down. Yeah, I got some headaches right now when it comes to LA, and I can't stand the Lakers. Spadoni, it's hard to even look at you right now. I know you're not, you're doing a great job. You've been doing an awesome job, but it's hard to look at him knowing what's deep down inside his heart right now.
Yeah, it's the same thing when I look in the mirror. So I appreciate it. You're saying the Golden State Warriors are 0 for 10 in the state of California?
0 for 8.
0 for 8.
That's crazy.
So there's the Silver State Warriors because they're finishing in second. Come on, that's a good one, right?
That's actually really good.
That's actually not bad. I was listening yesterday, and the nicknames coming in about the Jimmy Butler.
The suspendables.
That was the one. I almost spit my coffee out. And I'm like, this is what we're signing up for? The suspendables. I almost feel like there's certain people who are more excited about Jimmy Butler, Draymond, and some potential drama between those two than actual winning basketball games.
Well, I'll be real with you. The product on the floor has been very frustrating to watch. I mean, seeing Steph Curry basically have to do everything. I mean, literally it's like Steve Young on that scramble where he threw it to a defender, it bounced off, he caught it himself. That's what I feel like I'm watching with Steph Curry the last couple of weeks. Ooh. It's been bad. And then again, they're shorthanded last night, so it's I get it. Like last night was different because you hollowed out some of your roster. Jimmy's not ready to go. That Utah loss was so bad. Pods fouled off ball while they're in bonus, and Draymond walked over like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And you could hear Fitz, because I felt the same way. Why are you giving them 2 free throws right now? And their execution in the half court has been so bad. It's been so bad. Look, I know that Jimmy's a ball stopper. I believe me. I know what Wiggins brought to the table, and I don't want to turn this into me telling you what Wiggins isn't. This team has fumbled away so many games with 5 minutes to go. And that's... Like, I love Wiggs. He brings a lot to the table. If there's one element that I do think Jimmy brings, because there's things that Wiggins brought that Jimmy doesn't bring, it's 5 minutes to go with the game in the balance. Can you get me a bucket? Can you open things up for Steph? Can you not get backed down by a Draymond, by a LeBron, by a Luka or whatever? Jimmy is going to fight back and at least make things a little more balanced for them. I like the move. I know it's risky. I understand the age. Believe me, when Draymond hurt his neck, I'm like, oh, God, we're relying on...
Yeah, I only get texts from Shasky when something happens with Draymond.
Oh, my God.
I was looking at the text thread. It's all Draymond.
Oh, my God.
It's all Draymond.
I like the Jimmy move. Do you like the Jimmy move?
I would have loved it if they added something else yesterday. I would have loved it.
Like Vooch, like I wanted?
Stretch 5, another playmaker, something. Because I don't think the roster is complete. Do I love the move? Here's why I don't love the move. Because Andrew Wiggins is playing well, and that is how my mind operates. Is Jimmy Butler $30 million a year better than Andrew Wiggins? I don't think so. Now, can Jimmy do things that Andrew Wiggins can't do? Yeah, in the half court, he cuts better. He can get to the free throw line. He's an 84% free throw shooter for his career. He's going to get buckets. He's going to play hard. He's going to play nice, especially early on with his deal. And I think him and Draymond are getting along fine. I actually don't think there's going to be issues, and conflict will be good for this team. It will be good, but you signed a 35-year-old. You trade for a 35-year-old. And now you have Steph who's going to turn 37. And Steph Curry is like, what is he the last 2 nights? He's 26 or 25 of 66 from the floor.
He had 23 point attempts last night. 20.
No doubt.
Insane.
No doubt. And look at his threes, Spadoni. He's 12 of 38 from 3 the last 2 nights. So he's going to be 37. Draymond's 34, and he walked out with a neck injury, as you mentioned, Shasky, and he's got the whole back issue and the calf. Yeah. He mentioned the other night after the Orlando game, he's got a small tear. He had a small tear in the calf. So you got older. Yeah. And Steve Kerr's just mentioning how it's a young man's game. So I don't like Jimmy Butler. Sure, it's a nice move. Where does that get the Warriors?
Well, here's where it gets them.
Who you think?
Clarity. Here's where it gets them. Here's a good clarity. Do you guys think? And I'm a couple part question here.
Sure.
Do you think Joe Lacob was dipping into the luxury tax with Andrew Wiggins and the team that it was standing pat?
No doubt.
Yeah.
But he's going to dip into the luxury tax with Jimmy Butler?
Yes, because you know why? Because as an organization, as a business model, you've signaled we're all in for the next 2 years after this season concludes. We are going to exhaust whatever. We're gonna be one of those hard cap teams. We're going to go flying over. We're going to retain Kuminga if that's what it takes. And we are going to overpay and have a big bill because we know this is about winning a championship one more time in the next 2 years.
So are they in the championship hunt right now, Spinoti?
Not
With
today.
Not right now, they're not. But I just want to let everyone know, Bonte Hill in studio right now. If you're just joining us, it's Bonte Hill. Every single
You guys
Friday.
drag me out of the house for this?
Well, yes. Every single Friday, we're going to drag you out of the house. You're going to come here, hang out. You're going to have to fight through traffic. And we're excited to have you, man. It's been a week of just craziness happening.
No, it has.
It's just
It's been
absolutely
wild.
insane.
been
I-
wild.
It's the best version of me.
I could have not. Jesus, relax.
Who says?
It's been an
I heard
absolute.
some people said, hey, Spinoti, some people said, you're going to have to rein this guy in. The few texts I was
I've had to
receiving.
already today.
So they've said, Shasky's off the chain now that the king isn't home.
Well, no. Well, we were hammering Brandon Pajemski for some reason for about 30 minutes earlier. I was like, Pods is the least of my worries
No,
at this
no,
point.
I was just saying
I
that
understand.
they-
I get it, but
Pods has been playing well since he's
He had a
returned.
great game the
I'm
other
not
night.
mad, but there was a situation yesterday where he drove me crazy. He hesitates on the three, lets it fly,
Yeah.
and then Vanderbilt
I know.
beats him down the floor. And then that was
Yeah.
the thing yesterday. It wasn't just Pods. Lakers 35-9 in fast break points.
Yep.
They're an older team that doesn't play fast, and yet you're a minus 29 in fast break. How many times do we see over and over the Warriors not get back on defense?
Buddy Hield
Oh,
is
my God.
standing on the 3-point line, and I'm like, buddy, dog, if you're gonna stand begging for the ball, you got to get back. It's bad.
So I don't like the expectations for this season. That's what we've been talking about today with the Jimmy Butler edition. Like a lot of people were angry yesterday. A lot of people were happy. A lot of people were indifferent. A lot of people call it a lateral move. But like as it pertains to this season, if they could get into a play-in situation, I'll take my chances because I've seen what Jimmy Butler can do with the play-in team.
True.
He's taken a team to the finals, being a play-in team. Bonte Hill,
Eastern Conference.
Eastern Conference Finals.
But I'll
excuse me.
give you that.
But
He
he's
gets
done
credit.
that. But again, people are going to scoff and say, "Oh, it was the East." So it says, I don't scoff at something like that. That is very difficult to do. That many 7-game series and having your back against the wall. It's going to be something that Steph hasn't had. The Warriors are 0-3 in play-in games. In the Stephen Curry, Draymond Green, Klay Thompson, like they are 0-3 there. So yeah, I would like to have a guy like Jimmy Butler that could, in late game situations, put the team on his back if needed. If Steph's not having a great game, because those 1-game ones, hey, we've seen it in the wild card situation in the Major League Baseball. Anything could happen. They got absolutely obliterated last year against the Kings in that game. They had no chance.
Well, not only that, but what I worry about with Jimmy is how many games will he play in the regular season? We have an older team. And baked into the equation that Draymond's going to miss games, Steph's going to miss games. How many games is Jimmy going to miss? This team right now doesn't have the margin of error to just miss regular season games and be in the Western Conference saying, oh, we could just sneak our way into the playoffs and hope something happens here. You go into the play-in tournament in the West, you're dealing with Minnesota, you may be dealing with Phoenix, you may be dealing with the Lakers, and then you get into the first round, and you're looking at the top right now, there's the Memphises of the world, there's the OKCs of the world, there's the Denvers of the world. So I don't know. And I look at the Eastern Conference, look, Giannis was hurt in a couple of those series, and he missed a couple games, which gave Miami the momentum. I don't want to take anything away from Jimmy, because he was spectacular in those playoffs. He's spectacular. But it was the Eastern Conference. And when they did play the West, they got smoked twice. Got smoked by the Lakers, and they got smoked by the Nuggets.
But what if I told you 1 year ago, okay, things changed very quickly. 1 year ago, how many draft picks are you stapling to Wiggins to acquire Jimmy Butler?
Yeah, you're probably stapling a lot.
Okay.
You're probably stapling a lot.
And look, Wiggins has played much, much better. And last year, it's almost unfair to even try to calibrate what he was last year compared to what he is. Jimmy sabotaged his own value. He did.
It's crazy.
He
and he
did.
got rewarded with 2 years in
Right.
new money, which is crazy.
He sabotaged
It's
his own
crazy.
value. And like, I keep thinking about it this way, like the Heat culture, and we were talking about this, Joe and it's like, hey, the Heat culture it's like a boarding school. I mean, you better fall in line.
I
You
said
better
it's the
tuck in your
Patriot way.
jersey.
It's the Patriot way.
Yes. Whereas the Warriors is kind of like, hey, we're in kindergarten. Everybody, if
Well,
you're a
that's-
veteran and you're a made man, like, how do you feel? How do we feeling today. Am I wrong?
Well,
I'm giving
that's
courage.
the optics doesn't look good.
The thing is, Bonte, I don't know what the Warriors culture was before Jimmy was even here.
Can you reply to the kindergarten comment? We're in kindergarten?
Right.
I don't think that's a good thing for an NBA organization.
Maybe we're in TK, transitional.
Right, yeah. I don't like the kindergarten analogy.
No. Some of the guys are in kindergarten, and some of the other guys are 8th graders that are made men that are going to graduate.
Well, how the hell are you going to make something happen in the NBA playoffs if you got dudes in kindergarten and dudes in the 8th grade?
Steve Kerr just got a transfer student from one of the guy that got suspended as a kindergartner now. So Steve Kerr having to coach not only Draymond, but now Jimmy Butler, easily the hardest task he's ever had to do, right? Right now, we have a clear path. That's what Mike Dunleavy said. So now you're going to have to win with aging players, aging superstars, and if it doesn't work, it's your fault, Steve Kerr.
Doesn't happen much. Doesn't happen much. You got your top 3 players are 34, 35,
I compared it to the Brooklyn Nets situation of a few years back, obviously, a decade ago, right?
Right.
Not for the same Bonte, but
that's a good point.
But KG
was
Paul
done.
Pierce.
KG was
but
done.
We didn't know that.
No, we did. The following year after they won the championship, he hurt his knee and he was never the same.
Okay, but take yourself back to when that thing happened. People were talking themselves into
I laughed at it.
Okay, you might have.
I did.
But the national perspective was, maybe they got something here. Paul Pierce, KG, Jason Terry. No.
I saw Ray Allen take the first flight to Miami and say, I'm going to join the Heat.
Yeah,
that's fine. I'll liken this situation more to the Nets than I will say, I don't know, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with Tom Brady and some of the older players there. I'm trying to think of a comp where this has worked, though.
Well,
I don't know if there's any.
I know a lot of people talked about the Spurs, but the Spurs, when they won their last championship, Kawhi was 22, Tony Parker was 31. And they were the 2 best players at that point. Duncan was aging. He was up there at 37. Manu Ginobili was 36. But they had a lot of young assets. Danny Green, Patty Mills. We haven't seen a situation like this. Maybe the 91 Lakers or the 90 Lakers when they played Jordan and the Bulls. Yeah. Magic was older in his 13th year, but Steph's in his 16th year. Draymond's in his 13th year. So it hasn't worked. And I would have loved this deal if they could have just added one more piece, whether it was Vucevic and Kobe White, Vucevic and Dosunmu, the defender. I still think they're missing one more piece to be a legit threat in the Western Conference. Okay. You got to go through the play-in, and it's a one-game scenario, and then you're going into the play. I don't know, man.
The odds are against them.
But let me ask you, what are the expectations now that Jimmy's here? Because I feel like a lot of expectations have changed for the fan base. It's entertaining. People are gassed up about the trade, and that's exciting because the Orlando game on Monday night was unwatchable.
Oh my God.
I was in the tunnel. I was like, man, this is bad basketball. They have to do something. That's what convinced me. You guys know, I've been on the stand pat.
It's a television
But after that game, I was like, they might just have to do something because fans are not happy and are starting to leave early despite it being a close game.
My brother was like, Cole Anthony is destroying you.
Yeah.
Not that he's not a bad player, but
he can get buckets. He gets buckets.
How many NBA players can you name before you get to Cole Anthony?
You can, but he gets buckets, and we can use a bucket getter. Cole Anthony would be a bucket getter.
Well, and it's on a team that doesn't get buckets, so that's why it's highlighted even more because both teams had 43.
It was a stonemason convention.
It was 1998 basketball.
The community was building a church.
By the way, to all my Sacramento fans who are listening,
all 6 of them.
Orlando is one of the worst teams in the NBA when it comes to offensive basketball. They lit up the Kings and scored 120 or 131 on them. The Kings are down 30 against Orlando Magic, and the Kings have lost back-to-back games. The Kings are rejected. They're done.
There fills my Kings quota for February.
They're not likely to be anytime soon.
The King has to talk about the Kings.
Yeah, I got to
what is my calibration?
Yeah, what's your expectations?
So like this is the way I view this, right? So similar to like a quarterly report, like you try to chip away at something. You can't look big picture. Hey, we have a $20 million deficit we need to close. All right, well, what are the small things we can do to next year and the offseason is its own separate entity. Different expectations. I got a million things I want them to do. For this year, I find it really hard to think that they're going to go like 20-11 or 21-10 or whatever it would need to be to get to like 46 wins. That's going to be really hard. So now it's like, all right, guys, realistically, does it look better with 5 minutes to go? Can I get into the 7, 8, 9 spot, not the 10 spot?
Yeah.
Just the 7, 8, 9 spot. That's how low I'm. I think it's doable. I'm worried about San Antonio. I have no idea what to make of the Suns. Who knows about the Clippers? I've doubted them forever. They keep shutting me up.
The Suns stink,
But you don't have that tiebreaker against the Clippers.
No.
That's the problem now. You don't have the tiebreaker against the Clippers and the Lakers, and you better hope you beat Sacramento the next 2 times.
I think
you don't have
the Lakers are the 4th.
Yeah, the Lakers are going to. Lakers
I
are
think
a
they're
problem.
going to surge.
I think the Lakers may be in the Western Conference Finals. Honest to God, they're
what I said
a
to
problem.
him.
They're a problem.
I think it's a great trade for them.
I was hating on the Lakers. I can't stand the
They're
Lakers.
big and long.
But yeah, they're going to be a problem in the West. I hate to say it, and I know Spinotti.
Jackson Hayes would get 30
statue's
minutes.
getting built right now.
Yeah,
they're already figuring it out.
Jackson Hayes would be getting 30 minutes on the Warriors, and Austin is
True, though.
And they pick up Mark Williams too.
and then Austin Reeves is one of the best values in the game.
Yep.
$13 million. He's been on. What is he? 16 and 8.
He's been a borderline all-star.
0 for 9 from 3 and
He
still
did.
had 23 yesterday.
Right. He was a
got to the free throw line.
borderline all-star this year.
He
His
was
numbers,
awesome.
Yeah.
He's been good.
He's a really good player. For this year, it's like, hey guys, like close out some of these games. I think if you had Jimmy over the last, let's just say 3 weeks, like you win a handful of the ones you lost. The key is this: it's not just Jimmy. Kuminga's got to get back on the floor like yesterday.
I want to talk about that too on the other side where. Look at me trying to.
Yeah, look at you.
Sorry,
Look at
old
you.
habits. Old
You've been
habits
listening
die
to
hard.
Willard lately.
Old habits
At
die hard.
24? That's insane
it's
for
actually
you to say that.
It's just me and my radio experience.
Sam's even shocked.
No. But I do. The Kuminga conundrum is massive here because one, I don't know if they have enough money to sign him next year, and then two,
This
how do you
goes back to the
rework
luxury
him?
tax. They're going to have to dip in.
Well, do you do that for Kuminga? I mean,
Yes.
whoa. It did
Because then you still have the ability to trade.
No, I agree. But you locked up Jimmy, Draymond, and Curry for $140 million damn near. 3 guys who are in their late 30s. And then how does Kuminga work? Does it work with Jimmy Butler, Kuminga, and Draymond on the floor at the same time? I was talking to Buddy Poole. He was saying that you got to stagger their minutes. Well, I can't stagger their minutes. I need my best players on the floor.
Final
best
5
players.
minutes, they will all be on the floor together.
No doubt. And
But
Draymond's
to
going to
me,
play the small ball
Jimmy's-
5.
Jimmy or, I mean, I've been saying that Draymond's a 5 forever, but Jimmy or Curry on the floor at all times. And I think you run a lot of PNR with Jimmy Butler.
You would hope so because they didn't do that with the Schroeder move. The Schroeder move was like, I started thinking Ryan Garko, Shea Hillenbrand, AJ Pierzynski. It's one of the biggest whiffs. One of the biggest whiffs.
It's the Michael Tucker move.
Dude, it is.
You killed us?
That
Come
did
to
not
us.
work
Oh,
at
no,
all.
you suck.
Well, it's funny, and we're going to break here in a second because I remember that was the conversation all 3 of us had a few months ago when this Jimmy Butler stuff going on. It's like, actually, I'd rather have Dennis Schroeder for cheap, and then they got Dennis Schroeder for cheap, and they stunk it up. And it's like,
2 games.
actually, right? It took 2 games where it's like, all right, this isn't going to work. And then they moved off, and then they got Jimmy Butler. Bulls tomorrow, probably making his debut against his old team that he started with, which is going to be awesome. Monday against the Bucks. Then you got Dallas next Wednesday, and then a back end of a back-to-back in Houston.
Yes.
Very interesting stretch before the All-Star break. Bonte Hill in studio, courtesy of the River Islands guest line. Joe Shasky, Joe Spadoni here. We got a lot to get into still. We got the freaking Super Bowl on Sunday, but again, Adam Silver is dominating Goodell this week. Maybe just for the week because it's the NFL, but this is a nice little payback from what they did to him on Christmas.
The problem is that I think he over dribbles, he gets into the key, and he starts pivoting to no man's land, right? There's a fine balance between being aggressive and then over dribbling into trouble. And then you get stuck in panic mode. And what ends up happening is that then the Warriors are forced to take bad shots later in the shot clock because he's dribbled way too much. He's hesitant on his 3-ball. I do actually think the 3-ball has looked better since he's come back from his injury. There's no doubt it's looked better. But even then, it's still like, I thought shooting was going to be a better skill coming out. I don't think so. Hustle. He's a hustle player. That's what he is. And I just think that they've got him in a role alongside Steph Curry. He's not a facilitator. He'll break a guy down, and then the big will come up and clamp him, and then he'll just pick up his dribble. And then it's pivot. And instead of either like decisively hitting the floater or decisively pulling up and hitting that mid-range or decisively kicking it out to the wing, he just holds the ball too long. They end up settling for poor shots late in the shot clock because of his indecisiveness. Again, he's not the worst player in the world.
No, but I think
he's an 8th, 9th man.
Well, 34 minutes is a lot for him right now. Like if this team wants to go to where they think they can go, Brandon Podziemski cannot be playing 34 minutes and he cannot be starting.
On last night's game, I understand it.
No, exactly.
But moving forward, I completely agree.
But that highlights, again, like you're starting Brandon Podziemski against this Lakers team right now, and you look on the other side, like Austin Reeves is just a much better player than him right now. Like that, Just not even close. Like,
I mean, it's not even.
It's not even close. And
They're
you got
not even in
LeBron.
the same paragraph.
They're not. Well, that's what I'm saying. But
Austin Reeves is one of the best bang for bucks in the league.
But I think they are hoping that Brandon Podziemski can get to an Austin Reeves level. Which, listen, he's not. He's a starter.
He's not as big as him.
He's not. No,
He can't
actually,
shoot as well as him.
sneakily, they're the same. Like they're listed at the same height. But it doesn't feel like they're the same when I watch them on the
Austin
court.
Reeves plays bigger than his size. He's a good ball handler. He's a willing passer. He can knock down shots. He gets an unbelievable whistle. He hits free throws. He goes to the free
Take
throw line.
screens like Pods can.
I think he's underrated defensively. He moves his feet actually, I think, better, laterally. I don't.
But he's
I
been in the
don't
league
think
for a
they
few
compare.
years now, Joe Shasky. He didn't start off like that. What I'm saying is,
No, I hear
can
ya.
Pods be an Austin Reeves? I think that is his high watermark in the NBA, and that would be great for the Warriors in the next few years. Again,
I have a hard time seeing that
That's
come
fine.
to fruition.
okay, we'll see. We'll see. By the way, you're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ, FM, and HD1 San Francisco and Odyssey Sports Station, always live on the free Odyssey app. All right, I do want to pivot to Jimmy Butler here because also the Lakers back in back-to-back. I think we all kind of figured that was going to happen, and I think surprisingly they showed some fight there in the fourth quarter that made me feel better about the loss, even with that 8-second violation we were all talking about. Buddy Hield actually seeing some balls go in the hoop beyond the arc.
Yeah.
Maybe that could be something going forward for him because, God, he's just been awful.
You know what
from
he
the
needs to
three-point
do?
land.
I would have him in
4
the
of 9
gym
last
running
night.
Vegas's till like, buddy, you are always at the 3-point line, which is fine.
Yeah.
But you got to get back, doggy.
No.
I've never seen more leak outs in my life.
It's
Call the plumber.
It's been straight up not a good time the last few months if you're Buddy Hield. But Jimmy Butler is now a Golden State Warrior, and the expectations for him are what, Dub Nation? 888-957-9570. The expectations from him and for the team, quite frankly, because you're going to be looking at this starting lineup and when and if Jonathan Kuminga comes back, what does your ideal lineup look like, Joe Shasky? Because we're going to see it tomorrow. No Kuminga yet, obviously, and maybe I'm putting you a little bit on the spot here. But Jimmy Butler, going to be starting. Draymond Green, going to be starting. Stephen Curry, going to be starting. And then from there on, it's going to be, are you sticking Quentin Post there? Do you still want that big guy there? Do you want?
Are we talking about late game situations or starting?
You can go late game situations. You want to go late game situations?
Yeah,
Does that
'cause-
matter more to you than the starting lineup?
Well, yeah, because I don't think Quentin Post is going to be closing games.
No.
They're going to go with Draymond at the 5 to close games. They have to. Now, is there a specific circumstance where it might be a Looney? Sure. I will leave that open. Steph, Jimmy B, Draymond, eventually Kuminga, and I think it should be Moses Moody. I think Moses Moody spaces the floor better. But I'm sure there will be a time where a GP2 makes sense, right? To just be another perimeter defender. Like, what's our foul situation, And I'm sure there might be a time where, hey, if Buddy's got it going, maybe I do roll with Buddy. Ideally, I don't want to rely on Buddy. I like Moses Moody right now. I think Moses Moody's playing the best basketball of his career right now. Like right now, I'm watching thus far the best basketball of his career. He's hitting open shots. I feel like he's battling underneath. He's not to me, he's not a 2. He's not a 2 at all. He's like a 3-4. And it's specific. Who are we playing against? What's the size disadvantage? Like, I don't really want him out on the perimeter against electric threes. I don't. He doesn't move as well. I like that group. I do. I think you space the floor a lot better.
Definitely more athletic too when you got a guy like Moody out there. Listen, is he the greatest defender ever? No, but he gives you some size, gives you some athleticism, and can knock down a 3-ball like you said. I don't mind that. And again, Jonathan Kuminga, again, going up against these more athletic teams and younger teams and bigger teams like the Lakers, he is a guy that is just so missed. I can't underscore that enough when we're having these discussions. Like, we're talking about it all without Jonathan Kuminga. And I'm not one of those people that says, oh, man, it was the deadline, but you can use this Kuminga when him coming back. It was like an acquisition. No, I'm not going to use it like that because he's been on the team for a while. It's
been out forever.
And it's gonna add another monkey wrench into the situation because roles are going to change again. And he has to figure himself out. Can he get back to his form prior to that? How is he going to mesh with Draymond? How's he going to mesh with Jimmy Butler? How's Jimmy Butler going to mesh with any of these people? It's a fascinating question, and it's a question we're all going to have to watch as this season unravels. And that's why it's going to be so exciting for me, Joe Shasky, to just watch the mixing and matching of what Steve Kerr is going to do and how he's going to handle this. Again, we're talking about this is going to be the most pressure for this entire organization, but Steve Kerr specifically has to manage 2 guys with egos outside of outer space, and Jimmy Butler and Draymond Green, and how he's going to mix and match Jimmy Butler with Steph Curry. That's going to be a huge part in all this. Let's hear from the guy, though. We've been talking about him for the last 2 days. How's Jimmy feel about all this?
That they always play winning basketball, and they'll do whatever it takes to win. I think that's what I respect most about those guys. And they've won at so many different levels, obviously, at the highest level, and done it multiple times. So not only can I bring some things to this team, I think they can teach me a whole lot.
That's Jimmy Butler talking about the Warriors organization, talking about playing with Stephen Curry, talking about playing with Draymond Green. And it's really simple as far as Jimmy's concerned and what he's going to do with this offense.
We good. Pass the ball to Steph and get out the way.
There you go. Pass the ball to Steph, get out the way.
Well, I think every now and then they're going to have to pass the ball to Jimmy.
Exactly.
And get out the way. And I'm okay with that. Like, guys, we've watched it. The whole, like, everything runs through Steph. Like, this is not enough. Newsflash, the NBA, you got to have balance somewhere. Now, there's a whole spacing argument. And, guys, everyone out there, we're overthinking this. Jimmy's a really good player with a high IQ who can make his own shot, can also create for others. At times, can he be a ball stopper? Yes. Late in games, time and time again this year, this team has failed to have anyone who can, you just throw them the ball and just help us out on a possession. It is the Steph Curry show, and everything's on him. The ball was in his hands. I think Pods took a shot. Draymond took a couple. It was on one. It was like the I call it the screen and slip as he like dove to the hoop on the little pass. Moody hit a three.
Moody hit a three.
Okay, well, like four other shots outside of Steph. Everything is so Steph reliant. We need another guy. And I love Wiggins. We all love Wiggins. But with 4 or 5 minutes to go, it was bombs away.
Well, that's why it was frustrated Wiggins, because he has that in his game to slow it down. And I think that's why fans were frustrated with him. And we're not kicking him on the way out the door. No. But we're just critiquing what, sort of lacked in his game was just that mentality, because he can get any shot he wants off in that mid-range. I've seen it. I've seen him go just post up, little fadeaway, little Kobe jumper. He can get that whenever he wanted to.
Yeah, but contact, he just falls over.
But again, it goes to that. But I'm talking fadeaway. I'm not talking driving hard to the right. But to your point, Jimmy, 30 pounds heavier, same size, same height, I should say, as Andrew Wiggins. He's a dog. He will get there. He will put his head down, drive to the rack, and go to the foul line and put the team on his back. And he's not afraid to make those free throws. And I don't think Andrew Wiggins was afraid. He just wasn't a very good free throw shooter.
He was having a good year this year.
He was having a good year, but historically,
it's not his bread and butter.
It's not his bread and butter. And that's something that I'm going to look forward to Jimmy Butler getting to the foul line, because that is something that Andrew Wiggins was doing late. Now you got him getting the foul line, and when Kuminga comes back, another guy that can just put pressure on that interior defense of a team like the Lakers.
I think about how the Lakers play, and there's other teams that play similarly. How many times do we have to watch LeBron just back? And he did to Wiggins. And Wiggins
did it to Steph multiple times.
Just back guys down. You're not doing that to Jimmy. Like, you're just not, right? And so, like, he's got some dog in him, and they desperately need it. And it's about the situational defense. It's not about the bulk of the game. The bulk of the game, I'll take Andrew Wiggins' defense. In the final 5 minutes of a game, I'll take Jimmy Butler's defense. And they need a guy who can get to the free throw line consistently late in games. There's a difference.
There is a big difference.
That's like hitting a game-winning kick, right? You know what I mean? In the league, like, you really want Martin Gramatica? I don't care what his advanced numbers are during the middle of the game. I trust Adam Vinatieri with the game on the line. I don't care if the guys miss 700 in a row.
Right? Yeah. No, it was always funny with those, because like you'd have certain kickers, right? That if it's like in that weird tweener spot, like 44 yards. Oh, I actually don't like Sebastian Janikowski here. I like it if it's a 58-yarder to win it.
Robbie Gould.
Right? Same thing.
Robbie Gould, same thing. Like, I trust him in certain situations.
Jake Moody, right? For some reason.
I have zero trust.
I was going to say, you have no trust anywhere.
I have more faith in Moses Moody kicking a field goal than Jake Moody.
Moses part in the Red Sea. Jimmy's out in Bayview, the guy that dubbed me the G League MVP earlier in the week. What's up, Jimmy? From Jimmy Butler to Jimmy in Bayview. What's going on, man?
Hey, guys. Spadoni, you're playing into some minutes there. I love it.
Hey, thank you. I'm doing my best, Coach. Appreciate it. Call me the Pat Spencer, all right? Doing my hardest.
Hey, Spencer had a good game, and that's not good for us. But I think I want to see the Warriors go to pick and roll in the fourth quarter with Jimmy.
Yeah.
I mean, Jimmy's kind of a Katie light. I mean, this whole motion offense works great when you have a lot of scoring options. And Kerr's got to adjust to his personnel. I mean, this is getting ridiculous. Fourth quarter, pick and roll, pick and roll, pick and roll. That's what I want to see because you got to make changes. You can't keep doing the same thing. And we got to look at what we're getting. Jimmy, as you say, can get to the line. He's a good in-between. He's a good in-between shooter. I like to call him Katie Light. So let's try out the new toy.
Well, this is what they absolutely need to do, though. If you're going to run those pick and rolls, like they got to surround them with shooters, right? And like that's again, I'm not trying to pick on them, but one of the very difficult things to do when you have Draymond on the floor is surround him with enough shooting, right? Because Draymond's not going to shoot. JJ Redick told you in the postgame.
I have the quote here. Hold on. I sent it last night and I saw it and I thought it was hilarious. Continue, Joe.
He basically said, I'll let anyone shoot on the floor, especially Draymond.
Says JJ Redick was lamenting how many uncontested threes the Lakers gave up tonight, but also said, quote, some of those were by people like Draymond, who we want to be uncontested.
I mean, he's telling you what we've been talking about forever. Like, look at
former podcast partner JJ Redick.
This is the part where like, and people they lose their minds. But it's like, guys, we know what this is. Dre really right now is a 15 to 20 minute a night guy, and in the second half, I play the 5 only. Well, that's what he is. Well, Joe, starting games, he could be the 4 alongside Quentin Post, whatever. The bulk of the game, he needs to play the 5.
Didn't mean to cut you off there. I apologize. New show. We're getting to know each other. I'll learn your cadence. But I'll say this. You are a member. You're one of the few teams right now that can attack the buyout market. And there are some shooters out there. I'm going to give you some names, Joe Shasky.
We're already at the buyout market, huh? The day after. I love it.
Well, yeah. Well, you got to pivot. Don't panic, right? You got, hey, you were talking about three-point shooting. There's some three-point shooting to be had right now. Bruce Brown, he'd do anything for you.
I would take him
Kelly
in a heartbeat.
Olynyk, shooting 44% from three-point land this year.
Would take him in a heartbeat.
Okay. So, Daniel Tice, he's doing anything for you?
They don't have... Quentin Post is the only big who shoots. God bless Kevon Looney. No, like they're just like, let's just stand in the key. We're just going to pack the paint. God bless TJ. Has TJD played in weeks? I feel like I haven't. I've seen him twice in months. He had a good stretch.
Here's a name for you. Remember a potential candidate on the buyout market? Patrick Baldwin Jr., PBJ.
So, okay.
Yeah, you want him back?
I actually always liked PBJ. I don't know why they got rid of him.
Well, they added him in that Jordan Poole deal, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't have. I like him, dude. He's a 6'10" guy who could shoot. He's a coach's son. Bring him in.
I can go for a peanut butter and jelly sandwich right now. I'll tell you that. Best sandwich of all time, bar none. And I'm an Italian.
Gotta have milk with it.
Gotta have milk. And I like the chunky peanut butter, believe it or not.
Really?
What's coming up in the game is, he sounded very from Mike Dunleavy, the general manager. We're going to hear from Steve Kerr. We're going to hear from everyone as a tough loss occurred last night. But it's worse when you're a fan like that, Joe Shasky. And good morning to all of you just getting off work and ready for work and ready for school. It is a Friday. It's a 50-cent Friday. It's a feel-good Friday. It's a non-payday Friday, but it's a Friday nonetheless. And by the way, every Friday at 9 o'clock, we got some exciting news. We've been teasing it all week. But Bonte Hill's going to be joining us in the 9 o'clock hour. Cannot wait for that. I'm sure he has thoughts on this loss, on the acquisition of Jimmy Butler, the departure of one Andrew Wiggins, all of that. Bonte Hill at 9 o'clock. Plus, Brian Baldinger joining us at 8:30, courtesy of the River Islands guest line. Getting a little Super Bowl preview. Yeah, because I don't know if you guys know this. There's this game on Sunday happening in Louisiana. Just the biggest sporting event of the year, but we haven't really wanted to talk about it because the NBA has just been absolutely dominating Joe Shasky. And I say good morning to you and all those on the roadways. Please be safe. It is, the open, it says, I am slippery. It is literally slippery on those roadways. So please be safe. But tough to win a game when you basically lose it in the first 2 quarters when you're down 20. It was a tough game. And listen, it's not the end of the world, but it highlights even more why they need Jimmy Butler on this team, because I love Steph. 20 3-point attempts. I don't need to see any more of that. That's in 6 of 20. He's trying his best. He's trying his hardest. He was hitting some of them late, but 13 to 35 in total, not good enough when LeBron James becomes the second player only to Michael Jordan to drop 40 at 40. Hi, Joe.
Put LeBron to the side. We got all day to talk about him. But they were horrible in the first half. That being said, I actually really like their fight in the second half. And I'm not trying to be that guy. I trust me, I'm really not. They were out there with Jackson Rowe and look, I like him, but my guy, Spencer, you know what I mean? Like, what are we doing? Pat Spence, we're playing with a bunch of G Leaguers. So everybody take a deep breath. I'm frustrated too. I'm frustrated as well. I thought they showed a lot of heart and a lot of fight to get back into that game. Now you could say it was, fake hustle or whatever. I thought they showed a tremendous amount of energy. Doug, they were playing with Draymond, Moody, Pods. I think it was Buddy Hield and Steph in the closing lineup. Whatever, the final 4 minutes. What is it, like 6 and below?
Brandon Pajemski had a missed 3-point shot, and Dorian Finney-Smith just running the floor, and then there was just a touchdown pass. That was the game right there. They could have cut it to, 3 or 4 points there, and they got it to 5 at one point. It's like, oh my God, are the Lakers going to trick this off? Are the Warriors actually going to do this? But they didn't. LeBron hit some huge threes. Steph tried to fight it back, but he even clanked some horrible ones, and he got lucky a couple times with some nice, fortunate bounces, and he put them in because he's just that freaking good. By the way, sneakily, watching the game, there was a lot of Steph Curry, when he was doing stuff, a lot of Warriors fans or Steph fans in the building last night at Crypto.com Arena. Just, again,
Joe,
underscoring everything. LeBron and Steph, they're still box office. They're still box office.
I don't know if you know this. Curry's really popular.
Yeah, well, I know. But when it happens in certain buildings like Los Angeles, when they dominate,
but it's
all their
it's
stars,
a showcase.
It is, but
it really is.
I just thought it was interesting. It was louder than I'm usually here on the television.
Yeah, it's tough for me to gauge because usually after about 8:30, the kids go down,
right?
So the volume goes down even more. So it's tough for me to gauge on those things. I would just say this: I want everyone to watch that fourth quarter, all right, and watch Steph Curry. Did he take all the shots but a handful? Dre had a couple going to the rim. Pajemski with obviously a hesitation and just a huge clank.
Moody.
That's why you need Jimmy Butler. Guys and gals, if you're out there, look, Andrew Wiggins was really important. And I'm not here to say that Jimmy is the savior and he's going to save everything. This team has a lot of flaws. And they've got to, look, I don't know what they can do for this year. And we're going to get into it at some point. But in that fourth quarter, they needed anyone to take a little pressure off of Steph Curry in terms of not all 5 defenders are crashing in on him. Not all 5 defenders are hell-bent on saying, we'll let anyone else beat you. Now, is Jimmy enough to offset? I don't know. We're going to find out. But it's a start. They've needed an alpha. For 2.5 years, we have been screaming, we need an alpha. We need an alpha. We need someone who can help in the final handful of minutes to be able to either create their own shot or to take some pressure off of Steph Curry and be able to knock down a shot reliably around him. That's what you're hoping Jimmy Butler can provide. And in a game last night, how many times could I have taken a still shot of 4 or 5 Laker defenders all turning, and as I'm going slow motion,
you literally
pivoting in my chair towards Steph Curry as he puts the ball on the floor. It happened time and time and time. There was a Moses Moody 3 late in the fourth quarter. He dribbled, looked around. Oh my God, no one's here. He could have went and got a hot dog, came back. Still no one would have been there for him because everyone in the half court is hell-bent on saying, we will let anyone but Steph beat us. And I like Andrew Wiggins. And if you look at the raw numbers, he puts up a lot of points. He's the same way. No one fears him in the half court. They're allowing him to shoot from the outside. They want him to shoot from the outside. Not that he can't. He's really good. It's the final 4 to 5 minutes where they desperately need someone else to contribute. And it was on display in Utah. It was on the night before, and it was on display yesterday in LA. And then I'll take it a step further. The Utah loss hurts even more, considering how much of a thud that Laker game felt.
You just look at the size of that Lakers team, too, and it always highlights, again, the size. We already know this for the Warriors. Rui's big.
Vandy's big.
Dorian Finney-Smith, 6'7".
Even Austin Reeves for a ball handler's big.
Austin Reeves, 6'5". They're about to add, Luka Doncic, who's what, 6'7", 6'6"?
He's a monster.
Mark Williams, who they just added, 7'2". The size is going anywhere. He thought, Anthony Davis knows that. Anthony Davis is a very good player. They're also adding another generational talent here in a couple days, and Luka Doncic, and Lakers are saying he's going to make his debut on Monday. At least that's what JJ Redick said prior to the game. As for Jimmy Butler, the Warriors' recent addition, they're aiming tomorrow, where it all started for Jimmy Buckets in Chicago, where Nikola Vucevic is still a member of Joe Shasky. So no Nikola Vucevic. Real quick, Jimmy Butler, basically the only big move at the deadline for them. Were you satisfied with just that move?
No. I mean, I think I speak for all of us. It's like, it's a start. It's not enough, And to me, these things always have to come in tandems. And I don't know, man. So much was talked about by Steve Kerr about emotions, and I get the human element of it. But it's like, yo, Steve, bro, legacies are on the line here. Like, jobs are on the line. Like, I know you have relationships with a lot of these guys. I trust me. I truly understand it. But we gotta execute some deals here. Time's coming out of the hourglass.
I really appreciated what General Manager Mike Dunleavy had to say in regards to the future. And the quote was, "We have picked a path." And we'll hear from Dunleavy, we'll hear from Kerr, we'll hear from Jimmy.
Which is all
we'll
I
hear from
wanted.
everyone. Pick a path. It was refreshing. It was. You come to a fork.
He said it.
You come to a fork in the road. You got to pick something. Or there's the old saying, "Come to the fork in the road and you just take the fork." That's one of them. I think that's a Yogi Berra-ism. And by the way, this segment is brought to you by Golden State, serving the Bay Area for 3 generations. When you succeed, we succeed. Visit goldenstatelumber.com. Again, we got shameless shout-outs coming up at 7:45. Shout out whoever and whatever you want. Brian Baldinger, 8:30. Bonte Hill, 9 o'clock for his weekly appearance on Fridays at 9. And also, shout out to those who are streaming us right now. We are live and local on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube, all powered by First NorCal Credit Union. For a low-rate auto loan, apply online or just ask for First NorCal financing at the dealer, Joe Shasky.
I was trying to come up with names for the segment for Bonte when he comes in. I'm thinking the King's Court. Now I've really thought about it, and you guys can tell Nahegan this at the break. Mark Willard is out here trying to say that he really wants a Roundtable sponsorship, right? And he's been talking about Roundtable and how
he actually has been, because I worked with Mark. Give me a little drop there. I worked with Mark when he first joined the station, him and Dibs, and he would tell us all the time. He would go Roundtable Pizza. He'd go Fridays with the kids. That was his thing.
He's not the only one who eats at Roundtable Pizza.
No,
we all eat at
No,
Round
but he
Table
eats
Pizza.
black olives and salami.
Oh, God, olives on a pizza is disgusting.
They're olives and salami combo. I love you, Mark. I love you. He gave me a big embrace when he found out the news, and we saw each other. He was very happy for me.
I'm so happy for you, Joe Spadoni.
He was.
Your next olive pizza's on me.
Me, you, Ephraim Salam. We're all going to go get salami pizza.
Ephraim Salami, please, in this case.
No, but where I was going is I think we should name the segment, The King and the Knights of the Round Table.
I actually kind of like that.
And we'll have Round Table come in, and instead of giving Dibs and Willard pizza,
you're trying to
we'll
steal
get our
the
own
sponsorship.
So that's what this really is. We're just trying to steal sponsorships from Willard and Div.
Well, I mean, I'm a more creative individual
if we're going
than
by
those
the
two,
Knights,
so I figure,
Well, this might be the Crusades in this case. We're just going to take what we think is ours. In this case, it's the Round Table.
I'm not sure if you've seen the history. The Crusades didn't work out so well
the Knights. This is a lower level.
The Knights of Templar.
Hey, The Kingdom of Heaven, great movie. Orlando Bloom, Edward Norton.
No doubt. All right, let me Draymond and LeBron. Okay, can we just talk about this for a second?
Oh, I kind of love
Oh, my God. First off, Draymond.
Go ahead.
Finally. No. I'm going to defend Draymond. I am. I'm going to say this. Finally. Look, I know a lot of people are frustrated with Draymond last night. I'm not one of them. Let me tell you something. Finally, you found LeBron hard. And you know what? I co-signed for him to do it again. Because, look, LeBron just mocked you, dude. Dude, come on, man.
Explain what happened.
He mocked him. LeBron, okay, Draymond got fouled. He's going to shoot free throws. Okay, he's arguing with the referee, and he misses a free throw. That's nothing new. Then LeBron starts doing this and I'm waving my hands in the air like an inflatable, I don't even know what those things are called.
Yeah, the inflatable dummy things at a cardio shit.
Yeah, exactly.
You're waving your hands in the air like you just don't care.
And he basically just humiliated Draymond Green. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, good. And Draymond's barking at the official, give me the ball. He gets a technical, okay? And I'm saying to myself, you know what? No, we need this. Stop buddying with LeBron. He's been using you as a pawn forever to take away your junkyard dog bite. No, he has. And you know what?
You think this is all some elaborate scheme? LeBron's not actually friends with Draymond. It's all fake just to get into the head of the
I think
entire
LeBron
Golden
is
State
calculated
Warriors.
in everything he does. You think I'm joking?
I just don't think everything has to be. I think they're just friends.
I think LeBron is an egomaniac, narcissist, sociopath.
Okay.
Yes, when it comes basketball-wise, not like serial killer.
Okay.
But I'm just saying when it comes to
Dexter.
I didn't say that.
I know you're not saying that, but it's just funny when
no one has put a bullet metaphorically in more teammates' head who he claimed were his best friend than LeBron.
Because he wants to win.
He did it to Kyrie.
Business.
He did it to Anthony Davis. He did it to Dwayne Wade. Like, he does it to Kevin Love. He did it to Chris Bosh. Like, what are we talking about? Like, LeBron will sleep on, and he will literally cut and trade anyone. The minute you are done with being a high-level player and he's done with you and he can upgrade, you're gone. And so, you know what? I defend Draymond Green. Continue to go at LeBron. At least now he knows where it is.
Well,
like, I'm okay with it.
Draymond's just a little jealous because him and LeBron James and Stephen Curry are now homies. You guys see all the embraces they're doing now towards these last few years that we're getting LeBron and Steph? I mean, they're tied. They just won an Olympic gold medal together. I think there just might be a little jealousy from Draymond Green's part, and that's why
No, I just think that finally Draymond realized, like, dude, this guy just humiliated you while you're shooting a free throw, doing this whole waving thing. Like, that's gotta piss you off. Joe, come on. And then, you know what? I'll give Draymond this. Like, it feels like he's never really fouled LeBron hard since going back to, like, basically 2017, right? Can you guys think of any moment where he's actually fouled LeBron hard? He like fouled him and grabbed him. I was like, you know, just foul him hard and just let him fall. Who cares?
888-957-9570. Tough loss for the Warriors, but again, kind of underscoring everything. Jimmy Butler is a Golden State Warrior. Like, that's still the story. And we're going to talk all morning long. Like, the expectations for this team now are what? Okay. Everyone said their piece. You either loved it, you hated it, you were indifferent, you think it was a lateral move, whatever. How is this team going to look the rest of the season? They're a game under 500 now. You look at the standings, they're the 11th seed. It's them, the Kings, the Suns. They're all kind of bunched up. The Mavericks, Clippers, and the Timberwolves are out of the zone at 29 and 23. So you're 3 games back to the lost column. Again, playing this game. So you add Jimmy Butler to this team right now. Your expectations are what, Joe Shasky?
For this year?
For this season. Because I can't
I'm not
going to do next year. I'm not going to do the year after that.
Let's start
this
right now.
season.
So for this year, it's A, oh my God, can we get off to better starts to games? Then B, can we finish with a consistent lineup? I know there's going to be a couple guys that are going to be in and out. It might be Buddy Hield one night. It might be GP2 one night. I guess it'll be Pods. I don't know. Like, the coach just believes in Pods so much more than I do.
Well, he just came off his best game as a pro. So there's
he's been hot garbage for months.
But he's also been hurt. Like, come on, like, I think since coming back from the injury, he hasn't been that awful.
Joe, you've watched enough of Podziemski. What is his high water mark as a player?
Probably a backup point guard.
Okay, why do they continue to keep feeding him as some, like, elite playmaker alongside Steph Curry? I know you don't have a lot of options.
That's just it.
He's not big enough to defend. He can't knock down a shot. He dribbles too much and gets into trouble. Like, to me, he is a rotational piece, and they keep using him as a closer. He's not a closer. That's not a knock on him. I think it's just the reality of where he's at. Sean Livingston didn't close a lot of games. He's nowhere near Sean Livingston's impact. Neither is this team. This team isn't as good as what it was when they had Sean Livingston. Like, Jared Jack, when they had him, I'm going way back in time.
Yes, you are.
He was a dog. He could set dudes up in the half court, and he was going to defend. He didn't even close every single game. And they're hell-bent on trying to, like, they're waiting for this Podziemski thing to just come around. It's not going to come around. It's just, I like him. I do, but he's not Peyton Pritchard. He's not TJ McConnell. He's not there yet. And Steve needs to acknowledge that.
Well, no, he's not there yet, but I also don't know what he is at this point yet because he's only a sophomore in the NBA. Like, I'm going to give him some time. And he's
an undersized guard who over dribbles and can't knock down a shot.
Okay,
that's who he is.
But he knocked down shots literally 2 days ago. So that's what I'm saying. So he can do that. We've seen him have good games. I get it. One's the Jazz, one's the Lakers. Big difference. One's a team that sucks. One team might be going to the Western Conference Finals. I get it. He came up small yesterday. Who would you have rather have seen in the starting lineup instead of Podziemski yesterday?
Look, I have no problem with them starting him.
Okay, what's the closing lineup? Who would you rather have seen out there?
Jackson
Rowe?
I was open to Pat Spencer. Yes, Pat Spencer can at least get into the lane. Okay. I know it sounds absurd. Watch the games. Like, if people are watching the games,
yes.
Pat Spencer actually stays in front of his defender.
And he played well
actually
yesterday.
Can rebound, actually is athletic. I'm not saying he's anything special. We're just asking, like, can you stay in front of your guy?
I get it. Listen.
Of all the things
yesterday, Brandon Podziemski was
I just think it's a microcosm of this organization right now as a whole. They overvalue and have miscast certain players on the roster, and that's kind of why we're where we're at.
Yeah. Joe Lacob didn't do any favors when he said he's going to be an all-star. I'll just say that right there. When Joe Lacob said that,
Totally fair.
I think the fan base was waiting for him to fit some portion. I'm not saying you.
Yeah.
A lot of the fan base was like, okay, well, let's see it now. And if he's not going to be an all-star level quickly, all right, well, Joe, you lied. Let's trade this guy right now because fans are under the assumption he was the reason they didn't get Lowry Markkanen, and a lot of fans are upset about that.
I don't know if that's accurate.
No, we don't know if that's accurate, but those were some reports dating back last season. The Lakers lost, but more than that, it's Jimmy Butler and the expectations now. So we're all here now. Jimmy's a Warrior. Whether you like it or not, he's a Warrior. What are your expectations, Warriors fans, with Jimmy Buckets? This season, not next year, not the year after that, but this season. Is it just make the play-in and we'll see what happens? Is it fighting for the 6th seed and maybe winning a round or two? See, I do think if they can get to a series and if they prove that from here on out, what do they got? About 30 games left in the season? What are they? They're 25 and 26. I was just doing some math. 51 games. 31 games left in the season. If they can prove themselves to be a, 7 fringe 6 spot, I think they've shown that they can maybe win a series here in the West. That's what they would have shown me to that point, Joe Shasky. Now, how's it going to look? How are egos going to be played? How is Jonathan Kuminga going to fit into all this when he comes back? So I'm very curious to see how this team is going to look tomorrow. It might look clunky at times. It might look great instantly. What are your expectations early on here as Jimmy may be making his debut tomorrow against the Chicago Bulls?
Well, I mean, I think the proper thing is wait and see, right? And I know it's not the most exciting thing to say. I'm not going to say, like, for them to go like, 20 and 11, I think they need to do to go to 46 wins. That's aggressive.
Yeah.
That would be the best basketball they've played in like 3 years, right? 20 and 11?
Well, it'd be the best basketball they've played all season, first of all, outside of the 12-3 start. So, no, it'd be the same because you're 9 games over 500. That's equal to what they did at the start of the season.
To me,
They've
it
been a
starts with like
sub-500 team since then.
Solidify yourself into the play-in, right? Get into the 7, 8, 9 slot and just try to solidify yourself into the play-in and give yourself a puncher's chance for this year. You've dug such a crummy hole, and that's why that Utah loss the other night, it just eats at you. And then what does it look like? What does it look like? We'll know, I think, pretty early on, especially late in games, what it looks like. If Steph's getting better looks, if Jimmy is going to the rim, and just the offensive flow in the final 4 or 5 minutes doesn't look so. Just the word I would use isn't even desperate. I'm talking about the final 4 or 5 minutes of offense. It's just so singularly focused on Steph save us. It's like straight hero ball. It's the antithesis of everything they stood for during their golden years, which was we're going to kill you with balance and we're not going to force one thing. Right. Well, now it's all Steph reliant. And I just think they need to get away from that.
Who's 37 years old, not to cut you off, and has bilateral knee tendonitis. Now do everything for us, Steph.
Exactly.
Like, that's unfair to that guy at this point.
100%.
And that's why I'm not as hard as, like, again, 23-point attempts last night. Like, what are we doing? But he feels like he has to do that right now to keep this team afloat. So I'm not going to be that hard on Steph. But it is alarming to see all this wear and tear on top of him, both physically and also mentally. And you were seeing the decline here in the last few weeks. So can Jimmy Butler not only give the team a boost, but Stephen Curry specifically? Like, that's going to be the question. How those two play together is going to ultimately decide how far this team can go.
Yeah.
If Jimmy and Steph can coexist on the court, maybe, just maybe, this team could do something in the playoffs. I don't know what.
Well,
can
we get there first?
Well, that's the thing. I said maybe, just maybe, and we'll see. Speaking of,
I just have such a hard time trying to project what they couldn't do. We got to see it. And this is a very unique player who, look, at times is going to be a ball stopper. To me, I think the ideal way to utilize Jimmy Butler, forget the final 5 minutes.
Sure.
Jimmy or Steph needs to be on the floor at all times.
Yeah.
Too many times. And look, the other night they kind of got away with it. Like Steph and Dre came off the floor at the same time. And it was like, oh my God. And they extended the lead. This is against Utah. It was when those two were on the floor that things started to kind of go awry. And it was not just them. It was larger than them. But Jimmy or Steph needs to be on the floor at all times. And then I think when Jimmy's on the floor, I think you've had a little taste of this with Dennis Schroeder. You've got to play a little to his strengths. That's what God, Kuminga needs to come back so bad.
Yeah, they really miss him.
He needs to come back so bad. Kuminga's been out a month.
Yeah.
I think he got hurt on the 3rd of January. I could be wrong,
It
but
feels like he's been out for a longer than that. But yeah.
Could there have been a worst timed absence than right now?
No, it's a great point. Speaking of Jimmy Butler and how he feels about, fitting onto this team, yada, 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 this, that, and the other. He spoke to the media yesterday alongside Mike Dunleavy prior to the game in Los Angeles. And this is what he had to say in regard to himself. He views himself as a winner.
I think our personalities are going to be fine. I would like to say that I am a winner. I haven't won it, but I would like to call myself a winner. I do want to win it being a championship. And as far as playing with Steph, I mean, everybody knows he's the greatest shooter in the world, greatest shooter in history. Makes my job a lot easier. I probably got a lot more space out there. But more than anything, I think it's always going to be a team effort. We all got a lot more space out there. So we'll see how it goes.
Views himself as a winner. And I would view him that way too. We talked about the last 2 days. I'm very high on Jimmy Butler, the player on the court, and the mentality he brings on the court. Off the court, a lot of other stuff, not a huge fan of. But on the court, what he brings to this team, what they desperately need, is that pit bull, that Rottweiler, that dog mentality. Hell, Chihuahua to a degree, all right? Because they defend people, all right? Gotta love them around Chihuahuas. George, Los Altos, what's going on, man? What are your expectations with this Golden State Warriors team with the addition of Jimmy Butler now? What's up, man?
First of all, welcome to the morning roast. Joe knows that I've been a regular caller for 2 or 3 years now, so welcome. I wish you the best.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'm thinking we didn't give up one of the most beloved players on our roster without getting at least a 6 seed. And that's my expectation. And, the other thing I think we're having a tendency to not to forget, and Joe just mentioned the name Kuminga. Look at what he did in his 3 games before he went down with the injury. Wasn't he averaging close to 30 points a game?
I have it right here.
I mean, he was.
Yeah, so here's just the final 5 games that he's played. The 27th, 34 points. The 28th, this is of December, 34 points. Against Cleveland, they got blown out. He only had 18. And then they beat Philly, and that was a blowout as well. He had 20. And then the game he got hurt, he had 13. So to your point, yeah, he was rolling.
Yeah. And if he comes back and he's doing anything close to what he was doing before he got hurt, and you couple that with now having Jimmy, which takes the pressure off of Steph, I don't see why we can't get at least to the 6 seed. What are we, 3 games out of the 6 or 4?
In the loss column, so I have the standings up right now, and appreciate the call, George. So this is where the Warriors are at right now. They're the 11th spot. They're 25 and 26. They're tied with Sacramento, but the Kings have the tie break over them, obviously. So 25 and 26. The 6th seed currently are the Minnesota Timberwolves. They're 29 and 23. They've actually been pretty hot. They've won 2 in a row. They're 7 and 3 in their last 10. It's going to be tough, but it's not impossible.
No.
The Timberwolves have been inconsistent this season. I think the Lakers are going to be going on a little bit of a run. They're going on right now.
I agree.
I think they're going to be maybe
a top 4
seed.
I think that's where that's trending.
Yeah. The Clippers, who knows? They're 4 and 6 in their last 10. They've lost 3 in a row all of a sudden. The Clippers, they're relying on guys that are older and that have huge injury concerns. Like Kawhi Leonard, what if he gets hurt again? He's out. Like that.
I've counted them out all year though, and they've been way better than we.
They're very well coached. I love Ty Lue. He's so underrated.
Terrence Mann trade was, I don't know, it was interesting. I like Terrence Mann probably more than most.
Norman Powell's been a baller for him. We've already been talking about that.
Powell, 17th best scorer in the NBA. Yeah. It's crazy,
right? Mavericks. I think everyone's expecting them to go on a run now with the addition of Anthony Davis.
They're really intriguing.
Very intriguing. We'll see. I thought they were going to be on the Kevin Durant talks, but I guess not. I think the Suns
are free falling.
They're cooked.
I totally agree.
The Sun is cooked. If they're not good.
Well,
what do they do well? I've watched a lot of their games. We're talking about League Pass.
Yeah. They're kind of like the Warriors. This is what they do well. They're constantly in the news cycle for trade rumors.
They get blown out way more than the Warriors, though. Like blown out.
They blew out the Warriors.
I know. It's hilarious to say that, right?
I know.
But I
don't understand what they're doing.
And Kevin Durant now is feeling like his organization doesn't love him anymore. He's like, I don't know, why am I
shocker?
Just saying.
And then the Kings, I believe the Kings lost last night, and they're talking about their, basically they have no point guard anymore. It's like, well, yeah, you traded your guy away.
You wanted to go. You bring Zach LaVine. It's hard to create that. There was a level of consistency and camaraderie and knowing your teammates that you can't underrate when things like this happen. So, like, will Jimmy Butler be a seamless transition? Probably not.
No.
So, like, just like Zach LaVine hasn't been a seamless transition with the Sacramento Kings, probably not Jimmy with Steph and Draymond. Like, it takes time, especially in this system.
It's interesting because, like, I'm seeing the teams that are below the Warriors, and I know we want to look upward, but, like, Blazers have been on fire.
Steiny's been on this.
They've been on fire.
Winning for Chauncey. Okay. 9-1 in their last 10. They've won 6 in a row. All of a sudden, they're 3 back of the loss column from the Golden State Warriors. The Spurs, we're not talking about them.
I love that.
Fox.
I love Shoan. I love Castle.
Yeah.
Dude, obviously Victor's the headliner. De'Aaron had 18 in the first half the other day. He looked like he fit in perfect.
The wild, wild west, man. Like, this conference is so stacked with star power now more than ever, which is saying something because they've been dominating the 2000s. They've just been honest. The West has dominated my entire life outside of and Michael Jordan was dominating when I was 2, 3, 4, 5 years old. But for most of my entire life, it's been Lakers. It's been Spurs.
Yeah.
It's been Warriors.
But I would say in like the late 90s, mid to late 90s, you had Pacers, Bulls, Knicks that were all excellent. The Heat were excellent. Even
but they
like
weren't winning. Like the title.
No, only one team won.
Yeah, correct.
But I was just saying, like, it was that way. But again, that was almost 30 years ago. So I sound like an old head saying that.
Right.
But yeah, your point about the West being loaded, I think it's going to be really difficult to get into the 6th speed. I mean, again, to get to about 46 wins, what was it, 20 and 11, I think was the number I had written down. It's hard. 21 and 10, whatever it is now, because they lost yesterday. That's why losing games like they did the other night to Utah is just really frustrating because you got to stack them.
Well, and this is the thing about the acquisition of Jimmy Butler that I love, because if you are a play-in team now, like I don't have great faith in the Warriors in the play-in situation, because have they even won a play-in game before? They're 0-3.
They lost to the Lakers and Memphis in 20.
Yeah, and then now the Kings, so they're 0-3
or whatever.
Yes, so they're 0-3 in play-in scenarios.
Yeah.
That doesn't make me feel good.
Thanks.
Having
Twist the knife.
Well, no. Jimmy Butler, he lives for these kind of games. Do or die situations. He's taking a team from the play-in scenario all the way to the conference finals and maybe the NBA finals. I might be getting them mixed up there, but definitely the conference finals. He's done that. So Jimmy Buckets in a do or die situation, yeah, I'll take my chances alongside Stephen Curry, alongside Draymond Green. Big Smooth is out in Oakland. What's up, Big Smooth? You're on Spadoni and Shasky. It's the Morning Roast.
Hey, good morning, man. Good morning. Listen, man, let's stop. Let me just say this. I played college ball, had a cup of coffee overseas, but listen, ball players can play. We got to stop. Can they play together? Yeah, they can. Just because you play one style doesn't mean you can't play any other style.
I agree.
We said the same thing about Kyrie, Luka. Yeah, they can play together, guys. You think they only know how to play one way. They know how to play other ways. I'll tell you this. Every game that Wiggins had 20, Jimmy Butler will get 28. He's because he's not going to miss a bunch of bunnies and layups. I guarantee you he can play, and I guarantee you he's going to average about 25. Just wait about 2 games. I'll call back and I'll say, see, guys, they can play together. I promise you.
Well,
on top of that, I love Wiggins, but we were ready to throw Wiggins out the boat last year. We love Wiggins. I love him. Nice kid. But we were ready to get rid of him. We were ready to get rid of Schroeder, whatever his name, Dennis a minute. But when they're gone, we're like, come on, guys. What are we doing here?
Well, we're talking about Big Smooth, real quick. We're talking about a guy in Jimmy Butler that is playing for, what is it, his 4th team now, 5th team? We're talking about a guy who, is a guy that forces his way off teams and can't play well with others sometimes. So that's why we're having the conversation. Again, on the court, he's been a great player. But something happens, and it's not going to happen this quickly. He's very happy. He's excited. He just got paid. He's going to be moving his family over here. But there is going to be a transition. We're not saying that he can't play well with Steph and Dre. We're not saying that at all. We're just saying, let's wait and see what happens in all of this. I'm very curious to see a guy that doesn't shoot the 3 ball transition to a team that loves to shoot the 3. And again, Andrew Wiggins, do I view him as a great 3-point shooter? No. But Jimmy is going to take a couple here and there, but he's going to be a great mid-range shooter, and he's going to be a great defender, and
I think he also can help. He can help set up for others off dribble.
But I think it's very too simplistic to just say what Big Smooth says. You're like, he's a ball player. They'll figure it out. So these things take time.
Well, I do agree with Smooth in the sense that, look, the really high IQ, sophisticated players all can kind of acquiesce to each other.
Sure.
And I get what he's saying. The problem is, like, younger players, I think, struggle to adjust to a certain style of play. We heard Eric Paschal. Again, who is Eric Paschal? He's used to having the ball in his hands and scoring. And it's like, yeah, dude, you got to learn how to, like, set a screen and move without the ball. Like, newsflash, buddy. Like, I don't know if you know this, but, like, you're not that guy, you know, like, as the meme goes. So Jimmy Butler is going to understand how to play this, how to play with Steph. But what Steph does in terms of how he likes to play is unique even in this league. There aren't a lot of people that operate off ball the way that he does and want to continue to move. I mean, yesterday, Jackson Hayes is guarding Steph Curry on the perimeter.
Your boy
Steph
Jackson
just
Hayes.
makes a simple pass, and Jackson Hayes falls asleep for half of a millisecond.
Mm-hmm.
And boom, he cuts the three-point line, bang, hits it over the 7-footer. Like, you've got to be a willing passer who sees the floor. Not a lot of guys are. I think Jimmy is. Jimmy can be. He is a ball stopper, though.